Okay, checking audio. That sounds pretty good. This one here, I need to pop up to the device. Why couldn't it connect? This is a problem. Watch what I'm doing here because I might need you to do this. At least, if well, you don't have to do it today, but. Let's hit the lily.
Enable.
Can you always find it together?
Privacy camera.
Relax, have one of Toby's old emergency lines for starvation.
For starvation, am I starvation?
Nope.
Well, I know.
Okay. There we go. This one is. Okay. Okay, evening everybody. Don't think I've got anybody else. Oh, one more in the waiting room. And I need this to increase.
Your house? Hello.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Try one of Toby's.
Okay, make sure you turn your cameras on, guys. There's 5 people in without, or 4 others in without their cameras on.
Okay, that's cool.
Wait, without cameras?
Not much use without cameras.
Wait,
I can't see anybody else.
Good to see some of you training outside. Okay, let's get started, guys. Apologies for the delay getting started. Just having some technical difficulties here. So we're ready to get into it. Just jog on the spot.
Oh my gosh.
Punching up.
Oh,
Uniform open.
yes.
Okay.
Check the height of the ceiling above you before you start punching up.
Oopsies.
I can't reach it.
They're almost about even knocking the lights out.
It.
Punch the sides.
Don't get up onto the table, or else I'll knock you off.
And feet in and out. Arms.
Oh no, I need to go to the toilet.
See, I'm family, you don't need jackets on. You should be in dobot. Feet forward and backwards. Arms to the front. Front, side, front, side. And feet side to side again. One arm to the front, one arm to the side.
He just told us we're not supposed to wait seconds.
Hey. Well, we forgot our uniforms had open. So that's my excuse.
And come on. Just need to widen this window up.
So I have some of these. I'm going to
Here
have
we go.
some of them to cool down.
Okay. Legs up to front. Scoot out. Hand up. Down. Hand up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down.
Oops.
Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. No one said come up. Up. Push up position. Most of you, of course, should be on your knuckles. Body nice and flat. Nose to the floor. And up. Nose to the floor. 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 Up. And on the feet. And give yourselves a bit of a shake. Little bounces. And tidy up. Okay. Some of you have got a partner to work with. Others of you haven't. If you haven't, even if you have and there's one convenient, grab a little chair or something. Something you can use. Something handy. When there's 2 of you, you can use each other for a partner. All we're going to do is put one hand on the chair, other hand up by the jaw, and your front rising kicks. Do about 12 each leg. Oh. Looks great. We've got a few pairs doing it together. We've got a couple of you. Oh, got some people waiting to join the class, latecomers. Okay. Great. Now try and get it, if you can, try and get logged on to Zoom about 5 minutes too, so that I can let everybody in at 5 o'clock and we can get started straight away. Okay, now with your chair, I'm going to change to side rising kicks. So I'm going to point my supporting foot parallel to my chair, rise my leg up. Or you can use a partner if you've got a partner. Oh, welcome along, everybody. We've got a good group tonight. It's good. Who's looking after each other in lockdown? Who's helping to look after parents if you're living with parents? Make sure you're helping out at home. Okay, now with our chair, turn our supporting foot 45 degrees. We're going to do our slow turning kicks. Lift your leg up nice and high and slowly out and in. Do about 12. Each leg. Nice, slow dodo chagi. Lift, use your leg muscles to lift your leg up nice and high. Nice, Mr. August. Mr. Bajan getting creative and using a broom. That was awesome. Good, Mr. Heath. Just try and slow it down a little bit. Okay. Mr. West, lovely. Now let's do the same thing with side piercing kicks. Remember your supporting foot is parallel to your chair, so it's pointing away from your kick. Bring your knee right up close to your shoulder with this one. Right up close. And then extend it out so that your body is in a nice straight line. Lift that foot nice and high. Use your glutes. Lift your leg up. 12 kicks each leg. Where you go. Bring your knee right back. Your foot comes in front of you, the same place as your knee, not behind you, not behind your bum. Hand your both legs. Okay, good work. Now last one here. Extend your leg out for your side kick and just do your little dips up and down. Let's aim for 50. And then you're done with your chair. Okay, gives your legs a wee shake and grab a little drink. One moment. Okay, now let's work on some basic kicks, but we'll deliver it a little bit more tricky. Now, one of the challenges, of course, a number of challenges of doing this in this environment. Just got someone sent me a chat message. Okay, cool. Someone's asked me to mute everybody. I think everyone is muted. That's awesome. One of the challenges of doing a taekwondo session in this environment is most of us don't have partners and we don't have pads. So it's really hard to mix it up with some releasing techniques with your partners, with pad work, smashing pads as hard as you can, with step sparring, free sparring. All those things are really tough. We've got to work on solitary drills because most of us here are by ourselves. So we'll do our best with that and make sure we can make it a bit of fun, and we'll work on some basics and get a lot of our stuff really strong for when we get back in the dojo. So first up, parallel ready stance should be right leg back, forearm guarding block, strong key up, go. I couldn't hear it. Come back, nice and strong so the neighbors can hear you. Go. Oh, I think that was better. Maybe you're muted. Okay, from here, we're going to do triple turning kicks with the rear leg. 1, 2, 3. And then back with your guarding block. After every kick, every set of kicks, hands in front of chest, reach back, guarding block. Nice and strong. So ready, right leg first, triple kicks, ha! Keep that, the hand that's in the front when you kick comes beside your jaw, helps with your balance. The other hand's up for defense. Oh. Oh, those Bavens look fantastic. Sit. Watch the foot angles. A couple of you, your foot's sticking up a little bit when you kick. You want to make sure it's angled slightly downward. And you do that by turning the foot that's on the ground. Make sure that's away from you. Ha! Open those hips. Good. Remember your bum sticks out for turning kick. You've got to fold your body up. Ha! Good. Two. Keep your knee up between the kicks. Don't drop your knee down. Not here, up, and lift it up again. That's hard work. Keep it easy. Just leave your leg up. Ha! Two. Nice, Mr. August. Sit. No. Nice, Mr. Heath. Okay, last one, we're doing 10. One time you lift your leg, 10 kicks. Ready, go. Good, and buttle. Left leg back with key up. 4, 3. Triple kicks, 3 kicks. Ha! Pull. Strong guarding blocks. Don't let those guarding blocks be sloppy. Reach back, block forward, really strong. Set. Net. Good, Mr. Marlowe. Toss up. Just watch the L stances when you're starting. Rankins, you're a little bit too wide. Okay, so you make sure you're half facing in your body. Hana. That's better. Try not to keep your body turning when you kick. All kicks to the same place. Some of you keep turning around as you kick. Try to get them all to the same spot. Hana. Two. Don't let that backhand drop. Keep it by your jaw. Set. Watch the foot angles. Net. And last one, 10 kicks. Go. Buttle. Nice. Okay, let's do the same thing with side kicks because side kicks are cool. Remember your turning kick, your knee comes up, you're extending out and back. So your foot's kind of whipping around and back. With a side kick, the lower part of your leg is like a battering ram. It goes in a straight line. So our ready position, we have to load past our body. Out, back, out, back. If you bring your knee behind your bum, your second kick's going to look like a turning kick. To make it look like a side kick, you have to bring your knee and foot back in front of you and then kick out and back this way, like a piston. Ready, right leg back, ready. I didn't hit key ups, come back. Right leg back, strong key ups. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, that's better. Okay, rear leg kicking. 3 side piercing kicks. Ha! Now make sure they're all strong. For some of you, you've got good strength, good balance. You go, 3 side kicks easy. Well, make sure they're strong. After 10 of these, you should be sweating because you're trying so hard. So let's make them really, really hard. Some of you seniors can also vary your heights. You might do high, middle, high, low, middle, high. Remember, low's here, belt height, not down there. Okay, so vary your heights a bit, seniors. Ready, 2. Make sure you've got that stamping action going on, not a flicking action. Set. Some lovely side kicks I'm seeing here. Net. Good, Mr. Stilges. Just try and straighten your leg right out. You've got a good action. Just straighten that leg. Come off. Good, Mr. Marlowe. I want you to use your back leg, though, not your front one. Do. Mr. Gordon, I can't quite see who's there with you. I might have to get you to type their name in later in a chat so I can tell who it is. When we get a drinks break, just type their name because I can't see them on the camera. Hana. Do. Mr. Tian, you're not holding anything for this. Just use your balance. Sit. No. Good, Mr. Heath. Just practice that balance. One more with 3. Ha! Back into your guarding block every time, Mr. Trotter. Okay, lovely. Now the last one, we're going to work on 10 again. Try your best to get 10 out, but don't trip over and break any expensive vases. Okay, so if you start losing your balance, get your balance and then continue with your 10. Ready? 10 side piercing kicks. Keep that knee and foot nice and high. Go! Good. Try and keep them all above your belt. Okay. And bottle. Now the left leg back. Again, triples. 1, 2, 3. Strong guarding block every time. Hala. Good, Mr. Crookshank. You're thinking about piercing, not flicking. Make sure you're piercing. Do. Good, Mr. Gordon. Just try and keep that knee up. Mr. Tian, watch your flicking a bit. Make sure you're piercing, not flicking. No. That's better, Mr. Tian. Mr. Tian, make sure you're piercing, don't flick. Hana. Nice, Miss Crookshank. Now get some power out of every kick. Make sure every kick is strong. Ha! Pause the third kick for half a second before you retract. 2. Tap. Net. Strong. Okay, and let's do the last one with 10. Ready, go. Be strict on yourselves. McLean ladies, watch the flicking. Try and get that stamping motion rather than a flick. Looking good though with the balance. And bottle. And grab a drink. Thank you, Mr. Gordon. Oh, just send it to me. Oh, awesome. Welcome. Welcome, Miss Gordon. Okay. Right. Now, a bit of work on a couple of fundamental movements. We're going to work on 2 that are similar. Seniors, you'll find that these movements are pretty basic, so I'm going to change them out for you. Juniors, I want to show you the differences and the similarities. Yellow belts and below, you're going to learn something new. These are techniques for around green belt, blue belt level. Well, the latter ones are. So first up, we all need to do some work on our guarding blocks. Remember our 3 stages. Hands in front of chest as you go down. As you rise up, you pull back. And then as you lower down, you drive into your guarding block. Around towards the opponent this way. Okay, not upwards, not downwards. Make sure you're coming across and inwards. So from here, hands in front of chest to relax. When you pull back, the front hand goes just in front of your badge and the back hand comes up to about eye level. Not quite back so your shoulders tense. Just relaxed here, but not starting in front of you here, so it's got very little movement. It's got to reach back behind you. So from here, we're going to go to the left, and then return, and then we're going to go to the right, and return. Okay, so everyone do guarding blocks first up. Parallel ready stance. Beat. Seniors, yours will quickly get a lot harder. Ready, left, ha! Think about the 3-part and make it strong. Everyone should be working hard to get a good sweat going. Return. Other side. Door. And return. Set. Return. Net. And keep going. Mr. Rankin, your front fist is a little bit low. Just lift it up to shoulder height. Sit. Check those L stances. Mr. Trotter, you've got a tendency to put too much weight on your front leg. Make sure you're keeping it back on your back leg. Mr. Heath, don't drop your hands. Okay, from here, you're coming back to a parallel stance each time, so don't drop them. Just keep them up. Guarding block. Return. Keep them up the whole time. I don't want to see any hands dropping down to belts. Miss Crookshank, go a little bit longer in your stance. Mr. Marias, just bend the front elbow a little bit. That's it. You're a little bit flat. So just bend it down a bit. That's good. Lovely. Excellent. Okay, now just quickly we're going to change to knife hand guarding block, except for red stripes and above who are changing to knife hand low guarding block. Okay, so everyone's going to do a knife hand middle guarding block at shoulder height, except red stripes and above are doing knife hand low guarding block. Go, same thing, maintain the rhythm. Mr. Gordon, just watch your body facing. You're a little bit too square this way. You want to angle yourself a little bit more. So watch the angle of that back foot. Miss Rankin, make sure you're pulling back. Hands in front of chest, pull back, go forward. Hands in front of chest, pull back, go forward. That's it. You should feel the power in the block. Should be nice and strong. Mr. West, you're slightly too high with the fingers. Oh, that side's good. That side was fine. Don't adjust that. That's better. Good. Mr. Marlowe, just watch your body weight a little bit too much on your front leg. So make sure you're keeping a little over half on the back leg. White belts, just keep it at shoulder height. Make sure that front arm's bent. White belts, front arm's bent. Fingertips the height of your shoulder. That's it. Thank you, Mr. Bonice. That was what I was going to correct there. And the other side. Good. And come on. Okay. Your blood should be flowing if you're working hard. You should start to feel some sweat pouring down, which is great. Now, the next movement, very subtly different in the ready position. In the guarding block, my front forearm here is my palm pointing towards my badge. My back one is palm pointing out. For the intermediate position for the next movement, I'm just going to turn both of my palms downwards. Okay, both downwards this way. So instead of being in towards my chest and out towards the bad guy, both of them are going to be down. And from here, when I turn, I'm going to go into a walking stance. I'll do it facing you first. Double forearm high block. Sideways like this. Okay, this forearm here is kind of like an inner forearm middle block, but it's eye level instead. And this one here comes with your knuckle just almost touching your elbow. This third knuckle here. Almost touching my elbow. Okay, this way. It's a really strong block because your hips and your entire body is moving in the same direction. Black belts, practice the block middle because you've got it middle and Kwangay. Okay, so we'll maybe mix them up, do some high and some middle, but know what ones you're doing. So apart from that, we're doing the same thing. So we're going hands in front of chest, pull back, but palms are down and into walking stance. Come back to my parallel stance with my hands in front of my chest, pull back with my palms down, and drop into my walking stance. Seniors who know it, go for it. Juniors who don't know it, do a couple by yourself quietly first. Just start nice and gently like this. And then you can speed up and get stronger as you get more comfortable. So you finish half facing. Keep going while I'm talking. Just do it. You want to finish half facing with your block at chest line. Okay, in line with your badge. So nice and strong. Everything's moving in the same direction. So it's a very, very strong movement. And you drop into a good solid walking stance. Check that your walking stance is nice and long and strong. Jack, watch you're in walking stance for this one, not an L stance, okay? You're dropping into a walking stance. Nice and strong this way. From here, nice and strong here. Make sure you're breathing. Good, Mr. Stilges. Now remember your sine wave. Keep that sine wave in. Down, up, down. Down, up, down. Down, up, down. Down, up, down. And keep going nice and strong. I'll slow it down for you so that you can see. It can be quite fast on the camera when you can't. Camera has trouble keeping up sometimes. But you go nice and strong. Get good power in. It's a very, very strong block. So the back, make sure you're in walking stance here, Mr. Rankin. Nice and strong, turn those hips. Half facing and walking stance. Eye level with your knuckles. Eye level here. And this hand is almost touching your elbow. It's really, really close. This is called double forearm block. If you have room where you're training, you can do a couple of steps forward and backward. So from here, instead of doing it on the spot, now you're ready to start going 1 and 2 and 3 and back. 1, 2, 3. You can see all the names to the side. Good, Mr. Marias, the bottom hand here. Mr. Marias, the bottom hand is palm up in the finished position. So they both start palm down and they both twist into the block. Okay, watch your stance there, Mr. Trotter. And the front hand for this one, Mr. Trotter, is eye level. It's a really nice block. Miss McLean and Miss McLean, when you finish this position, your front hand is facing towards you, your palms towards you. So you start palm down and then they both twist, so both of your palms face towards you this way. That's it. Lovely. Come on, Mr. Tian, you got to finish in walking stance, nice and strong. Eye level with your block, eye level. And come on. Shot. Okay. Grab a very quick drink, then we're into the next bit. Oh. Okay. Bear with me, seniors. We're going to piece this stuff together later on. So from here, parallel ready stance now. We're going to work on flat fingertip thrust. So a flat fingertip thrust, the motion's very similar to a punch with two exceptions. One, firstly, of course, you open your hand at the moment of impact and you stick your fingertips into the target. It's for a squishy target. You're not trying to break skulls with this. You're going into something nice and squishy. That's a first exception. The second difference is a fist. A punch goes from palm up to palm down. You get a full rotation of your fist. A thrusting motion doesn't have to have quite so much rotation. So it's not so extreme to turn the palm right up and then right down. Okay, it's just a little bit more relaxed. Okay, and just kind of sticking your fingers in. In theory, the idea with a fingertip is to bend two of your fingers so that your three fingers are the same length. Now, I find that doesn't work for me because my middle finger is so long relative to my other fingers, it's really weak. I have got no strength there. So I just kind of extends a little bit further forward for me so that I can get the strength in my fingers. So just try that first. Just come up and try, make a nice, it's not just like a knife hand, okay? So you've got your fingers together, you're pulling your thumb back nice and tightly, and you curl your fingers down a little bit. And if you can, that tall finger just comes back slightly, in theory, to align them, but if your finger lengths are quite different like mine, that's just gonna make it weak. They're nice and strong, okay? Cool. Now, back up and ready to go. We're going to do Gujari Tulgi, which just means we're going to thrust on the spot initially. Remember, you extend your other hand forward, pull your thrusting hand back to your hip, and then step forward as you rise up, and boom, out comes your thrust. Eye level for the high flat fingertip thrust. Flat fingertip thrust is usually high. It can be middle, but it's usually high. Let's do from here. Ha! Good, and then return to your parallel stance. Other side. Dual. Make sure it's in line with the center of your body. Sit. Let's stick with an obverse thrust. Make sure you're lining up with the center line of your body. Some of you are out at shoulder line. Okay, we're doing a front thrust. Baro. Hana. Baro. Two. Sit. Come on, Mr. Tia. Don't stand there waiting for me. I'm looking to see if I can give you corrections. Mr. Marlowe, just make sure your hips and shoulders are straight, just like a punch. No angle here, nice and straight. And baro. Okay, and in your own time now, left and right. Go. Make sure your hips and shoulders are nice and straight. Seniors, use it as a workout. Nice and strong. Remember, your hip and hand move in the same direction. So if I'm thrusting this way, my hip, any rotation of my hip should be in the same direction. Okay, not in the opposite direction. I'm not going like this, where I'm taking power away from my technique. I'm going in the same direction if I can. Finish nice and square. Cool, and come on. Okay, let's string some of these things together. So from here, we're going to do it with 3-step sparring. If you haven't got enough room to take the 4 steps required in your lounge, then this is how I want you to adjust. Just watch what I do first. Our ready position's forearm low block. I'm going to do flat fingertip thrust as my attack, but I don't have enough room for my third one. So I'll take a step back, and then I'll do my third one. Then I'll return to my ready position. When I do my defenses from here, we're going to do the double forearm block. 1, 2. I might not have enough room for the third one, so I'll adjust and then do my third one, followed by my counter attack. We're going to do front leg, side piercing kick, and then finish with a guarding block. So first time you do this, particularly those of you training inside, take it gently to check that you have enough space. So let's go. Repeat. and then you'll need to adjust. But what I don't want you doing to adjust, I don't want little stances. So I don't want you doing this to make it work, because that's going to get you in the habit of doing short, nasty stances. I'd rather you have to adjust your distance when there's not enough room to do the third movement. Okay, ready? Walking stance, forearm low block is a ready position for 3-step. Go! And we're going to attack with our flat fingertip thrust. Ha! Two. Set. And step back, bottle. And then key up on the spot. Go. Two. And then right leg back first. Ha! Double forearm high block. It was a high thrust that attacked, so we block with a high block. Two. Checking your distance in your room. Set. And then counter attack with your front leg turn out side piercing kick. And then land on a forearm guarding block. Give yourself some extra space. Go. Remember to key up on your side kick. Okay. Cool. Now we've got our space. We can start putting some juice into it. Ready? I'm going to do mine at a little angle so I can get a bit more space. Beat. And ready to attack. Go. And 3 attacks. Go. And return. Remember to key up on the side kick as well. Key up to say you're ready. Go. And go. Give yourself space. Step away from the opponent to make your guarding block. Don't land on the same spot. And return. And ready. Go. And attack. Go. And return. Go. And go. Oh, remember to key up there. And let's do that 3 more times. Go. 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 Twice more. Make sure you get some nice extension in that side kick. Straighten that leg out. Nice and strong. Good, and come on. Okay, we're going to use the same techniques this time in 2-step. So green belts and above, your green belts and blue stripes in particular, you've got 2-step. So we're going to use the same 2 techniques, the double forearm block, the flat fingertip thrust with 3 techniques, and the side piercing kick. So what we're going to do this time, we'll add one more when it comes to the defense. Remember for 2-step, your ready position is L stance forearm guarding block. Then we're going to do that flat fingertip thrust, followed by the side piercing kick. Okay, and then we'll do an L ready stance. Just gives the opponent, your partner, somewhere to attack. Okay, makes it rather than covering your body up. So L ready stance, crossing in front, blocking out to the side. So that's our attack. Okay, I'll show you once more before we do it all together. Guarding block, flat fingertip thrust, side piercing kick, and then L ready stance. And when you defend from here, again, parallel ready stance, that right thrust is coming at my head. So I'm going to do chukyumaki. Nice yellow belt technique here. And then the side kick's going to come, and I'm going to do double forearm block. Then I'll step slightly to the side and counter-attack with my own side piercing kick. And step down to my forearm guarding block. So once more for the defense. First, right leg back chukyumaki. Second one, step back, double forearm block. Step slightly to the side because my opponent is here. Side piercing kick with a high punch. Step together. Forearm guarding block. Keep, of course, on the counter attack. So let's do it together. We'll do it slowly a couple of times to get the movements. Then we'll get harder and faster. Forearm guarding block. Right leg back. Flat fingertip thrust. What? Side piercing kick with the rear leg, then L ready starts. Two. Good, Chico L stance. Mr. Trotty, L ready stance is just like an attention stance, but your feet have changed. Okay, so out to the sides like this. That's it, bottle. Okay, now the defense. Right leg back, first we count, so we're ready. Two. One. Forearm is over your head, one fist from your forehead. Okay, not your hand over your head. Mariah's family, just check that you've got your forearm over your head, not your hand. Then number two, go. Now imagine where the opponent is. You've just blocked their kick. Just step slightly to the side, cross for your punch. Go. Oh, Miss Rankin, no sloppy side kicks. Come on, strong. Okay, let's do that together. Attack, then defend. A little bit faster because we know the movements now. One. Ha. Two. And bottle. And then keep on the spot. Two. And go. Oh, remember to key up. Remember to key up on that counter attack. Do it again for me. Okay, ready? If you're looking at the screen, you're not ready. Step back into your parallel stance. We're going to do it once more. Okay, and and that's it. Lovely. And bottle. Now the defense. Okay, do it 3 more times by yourselves. I'll watch and give you some feedback. Go. Miss August, just watch that you're in walking stance for the double forearm block, not an L stance. Miss Crookshank, you're just a little bit flat with that forearm, with that rising block. If your arm's too flat, you haven't got any strength to deflect the block. So you want a slight angle here. Just a very slight angle. Okay, so here rather than here. Just let your elbow drop down a bit more naturally. Now, we're not going to do this right now, but those of you who are training with a sibling of similar height, you can actually practice this one with your partner. You're lucky guys. Okay, but we'll do a little bit more of that in later sessions for those of you who have a partner, but we won't today. So green belts and blue stripes, your 2-step sparring has 3 predefined attacks. But what I wanted to do with this is to show you that that's not the only way to do two-step sparring. It can be done with any technique, one hand attack, one foot attack, either hand then foot or foot then hand. So the reason that we have 3 set techniques for green and 3 set techniques for blue stripe is because if you get partnered up with somebody from a different school or you're at grading or something and you've got an unusual partner, they need to know what your techniques are without you telling them. But it's really fun to be able to play with some two-step sparring and smash some good stuff together. Okay, grab a quick drink. Okay, everybody's back with us? Lovely. Now, one of the other things we can work on when we're alone like this is our sparring drills by ourselves. So we can work on getting nice speed, nice power, nice technique. So when we get back in class and we start doing it with partners, we're going to be nice and sharp. Okay, so let's work briefly on some sparring drills. So I want you to have one leg forward, one leg back. We're going to start nice and simply. From here, all I'm going to think about is a punch coming straight to my head. And I need to slip slightly away from that punch. I can shift my front foot out a little bit. Just, my head doesn't have to move far. This is the width of my fist coming inwards. That's as far as my head has to move, to miss. It's not far, just a very short movement. But it has to be done at the last moment. Do it too early, your opponent's going to see you move and they'll move and hit you. So as soon as you see that punch come, it's pretty quick movement, so it's just a little duck off to the side. Try not to go forwards. From here, we're going to go slip to the side, counter attack with our reverse punch. Nice and easy. 1, 1, 1. I want you to picture that glove coming towards your head. See that glove coming. Other hands up by your jaw. Go. Just a little shift. It's only a tiny shift of the head. It doesn't have to be much. Okay, some of you are moving right out like this, getting too much space. It's just small. Make sure you keep your balance between your feet. Don't lean over the side of your foot and lose balance. Keep that balance between your feet. So a little shift of the foot can really help. Okay? Really quick, simple movement. Do the other side. Little shift of the body. And extend that reverse punch out. Good. Okay. Now we're going to add to that. So that punch comes in straight this way. It'll be a straight punch with the front hand. So we've slipped off to the side of the punch. Now I'm going to move my back leg around in a half circle this way and come over the top with my front hand. So from here, back hand, front hand. I'll do it side on for you. I'm going back hand, back leg circles around, front hand, over the top of their arm here, right to the head. Okay, if I do it with the other leg forward, you'll see me come towards you. I'm going slip, punch this way, step, punch this way. So picture that opponent. Go. Slip, step. It's the back leg that steps. Slip, step. That punch can be a crescent punch, seniors, or a straight punch depending on the distance of the opponent. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. So you're dropping down for the reverse punch and standing up a bit for the counter attack here. Okay, so you drop down and then stand up. Boom. Lots of hip in this movement. Lots of hip in both of them. 1, 2. Do both sides. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Picture where they are. Watch this. Pause for a moment. Watch this. You don't rotate that foot too far around. So if I'm here, my opponent is about here. That's where their head is. They're punching in towards me. Okay, so I'm slipping here and punching the body. Now, if I step 90 degrees around, unless they're coming forwards, there's no way I'm going to hit them because they're over here. So it's only a slight angle here. 1, 2. So imagine where the opponent is. Picture the opponent in front of you. Slip, punch. Go. Do both sides. Slip, slip, punch. Slip, punch. Body, head. You're coming underneath their punch here and then over the top. Keep your elbows in. Nothing to guard out here. Keep it nice and tight. Got to move your feet, Mr. Rankin Mills. Move the feet. Move the feet. Particularly for the second one. You might not have time to step with the first one. You just got to move your head. The second one, you have to move the feet. And come on, good. Let's keep working on those side kicks we've been working with for quite a while. We've done a lot of work on that side kick tonight, making sure that we're getting that piston shape, bringing the knee and foot up in front of you, and then stamping out as you pivot that foot. Stamp out as you pivot. Same thing, remember, for sparring, but we don't want to give away our kick. Okay, so we're not going to step into the other foot. It's too easy to see. I want to lift that leg up and shift my other foot in. I'll show you so you can see my feet, shifting my other foot in. We've done this quite a lot. Lift that knee up and then smash it out. Keep both your hands up. Make sure that backhand's always here by your jaw. Go. Just the front leg. Slip and kick. Slip and kick. Extend your leg. Try and straighten that leg out. Get your full reach. And then recover. Together back. Keep the hands up when you kick. Make sure you try on both legs. Really good place to kick is only just above the belt. Just here. You either want to kick here or here. Kicking around the middle of the body is a bit of a fool's game because if the arms are in any way guarding, you'll hit the arms. Okay, there's a hole under here and there's a hole up here. There's no hole in the middle most of the time. Picture your opponent. Think about where they are. Lift that knee and foot. Nice, Mr. West. Pivot that supporting foot a little. That's good. If you haven't already, do the other leg. Mr. Heath, can you go side on for me? Rather than kicking towards the camera, kick that kick towards the side. There we go, good. Now use that foot shift. I want to see that little shift with your feet. Yes, there we go. Remember, just above the belt or the head, not in the middle. Accuracy is everything. Straighten that leg out, that's good. Lovely, okay, and come on. Now we're going to do a little bit more of what we've been practicing in class from here. Using that same little space, gonna lift and kick together and back into our stance. Always back into our stance. Then we're gonna pivot around towards the back and do our back piercing kick, together and back. So we'll have the opposite leg forward. Side kick, together and back. Back piercing kick, together and back. Side kick, back kick. Side kick, back kick. Go! And pause for a moment. Okay, a couple of things here. It's really easy to do these kicks moving forward, so that's not what we're playing with. So I don't want to be going side kick, step down, and then move forward with my back kick. I want to try and stay on the same spot because adjusting from the spot is really easy. Side kick, together and back. Back kick, together and back. So I'm remaining on the same spot. A couple of you are doing this. We also want to avoid stepping together after the side kick because we have no stability, no mobility here. We can't move around quickly. So from here we have to go back into our stance because we can change our mind and do something else from here. We can't do much else from this position. So here, side kick, back into your stance. Back kick, back into your stance. Go. Oh, one more thing, try and avoid spinning for your back kick. Don't spin. Remember, you want to pivot and kick straight back. If your foot goes on an arc, it's too easy to block. You want to go straight between the guard. So come up underneath like a donkey. Straight back. Where you go? Come on, Mr. Trotter. So lift the foot up first, Mr. Trotter. Lift your foot up first and then kick back. So Mr. Trotter, don't kick from the floor like this and rise up. Don't kick from the floor and rise up. Lift your foot. Lift your foot up and then pierce back. Mr. Crookshank, don't let those hands drop. Keep your hands up. Don't get lazy on me. Mr. August, same thing, get the hands up. Good, Mr. Heath, but Mr. Heath, make sure you come back into your stance. Kick, back into your stance before you do the back kick. Don't do the back kick from here. Do it from here. Keep going. Okay. Now we're going to add your dolyochagi to it. We're going to use the rear leg dolyochagi, which is good to use when your partner's escaping, moving away. Okay, it's not so good to use as a leading technique because it comes around in an arc. But if your opponent's off balance, stepping backwards, that's the time to flow with your dolyochagi. So we're going to do our side kick, together back kick, together back, and then rear leg dolyochagi, together back. From here, side kick, together back kick, together back, rear leg, dolyochagi, together back. Go. Side kick, back kick, turning kick. Make sure you pivot your supporting foot for your turning kick. Don't keep that supporting foot forwards. Pivot, pivot. Nice, Mr. West. Just a little bit wider in that starting position, Mr. West. You're a bit narrow. You're stepping into a nice stance, but you're starting quite narrow. So just make it a little bit bigger at the start. There we go. Keep the guard tight. Always tight with the guard. Picture the opponent Every kick is in the same place. Nice, Mr. Moraes. Very nice. Okay, cool. Now we're going to add one more to it. We've got our yop chagi, we've got our dweet chagi, we've got our dolo chagi, and then we're finishing with 2 punches. So we're going to go yop chagi, dweet chagi, dolo chagi, punch, punch. Go. Then I'm going to make it harder. Watch the direction of the back kick, Mr. Tian. Mr. Tian, your back kick's a bit off to the side a bit. Make sure it's straight towards the target. You too, Miss Rankin Mills. Make sure that back kick's right to the target. Watch this. Don't let the stances get sloppy, Miss Cruikshank. Don't let the stances get sloppy. Everyone nice and strong. Look at where you're kicking. You're rushing a little bit and your technique's getting sloppy. Don't let that technique get sloppy. Every kick should be hard and strong, but make sure you've got good footwork in between. Don't let your footwork get sloppy. And come on. Okay, now the pinnacle. Now the challenging bit, and this is going to be challenging on Zoom, so I'm going to see how I go. What I want you to do is you're going to do side kick, back kick, and while I call out side kick, back kick, I'm going to call the third technique. So I might go 1, back kick, and you'll go side kick, back kick, back kick. 2, turning kick, and you go side kick, back kick, turning kick. But I want you doing the first 2 kicks while I'm calling the third one. So you've got to think on the spot, okay? For those of you who can see the monitor, I'll use my hands a bit as well, or my feet, okay? So I'll call hana, and then I'll go yop chagi, or side kick. So the third technique is going to be a side kick. Or I might go dweet, and you know the third one's a back kick, dolo, or turning for turning kick, and punches. So if you can see the screen, that might help, but otherwise you might just have to listen. Now the reason this is going to be challenging for me is because there's a slight time lag in Zoom. So I'm going to have to just call and then pause a second and give you the third one rather than waiting until I see you move. Because if I wait until I see you move, you're already finished waiting for the third one. So get ready. Ready, ready, ready. Nice and light on your feet. Should all be in your stances. In your stance, in your stance. 1. Punches. 2. Back kick. Nice, Mr. West. Nice, Mr. Rankin Mills. Just make sure you get that nice and straight to your target. Set. Punches. Mr. Tian, just watch the other people on the camera. If you're on gallery view, watch the others and you'll see what they do. Okay, Rankin Mills, you're fine. Get in and do the movement. Hana. Dweet chagi, back kick. Tool. Turning kick. Change legs every so often. Set. Side kick. I can tell from that one I was a bit slow. Okay. And ha! Punches. Tool. Side kick. Front leg side kick. Set. Dolo chagi, turning kick. Net. Back kick. Das up. Punches. Watch that footwork, Mr. August. Make sure you go back after the first one into your stance. Hana. Side kick. Front leg side kick, Mr. West. Looking good though. Duel. Dolyotagi, turning kick. Set. Back kick. Net. Back kick. Toss up. Punches. And come on. Okay, grab a quick drink. Okay, and sitting down. Just see what that message is. Okay. Left leg out, right leg over the top, and stretch around to the side. Now, one thing I'd like you all to do, if you can, is get somebody to video you doing your pattern. So ask someone to video you doing your pattern. If you can find, if it's nice outside during the day tomorrow, if you've got some space, and then pop it up on our Facebook page or put it on YouTube or something and send me a private link so I can watch it and give you some feedback. Okay, it's quite hard to do patterns when some people have got really small spaces and some have got larger spaces. So let's see whether we can do that this week, and I'll have a look at them over the weekend or earlier if I can. And change. As I say, please log into Zoom about 5 minutes before class begins, and then I'll get on as close to 5 o'clock as I can or just before and let people in. But because we've got to put a waiting room up, it means that if anyone's late to class, it's only when I notice them that I can let them in. Make sure you're bringing your water bottle, your training towel. As you saw, we used a chair tonight. And both legs out in front. If you've got any questions, feel free to whack yourself off mute and ask a question. Please also take the time to send me some feedback about the classes. If there's something you'd like to do more of, any ideas that you've got for something that we can do in a class training in a situation like this, anything you like in particular, anything you'd like to see changed a little bit, please whack it in an email and send it to me. This is new for me as well. So we'll try and make these classes as best we can. And bring your heels in. Many of you or most of you have got the green self-defense syllabus handbook. I also want you before next week to read the first half of that book. Okay, so that's the theory half, where we talk about avoid, de-escalate, respond, and recover. So have a read through that. It's not many pages, but there's a lot of content in those few pages, even though there's not many words. Mr. West, have you got the pattern workout book? Just raise your hand if you have, or, oh yeah, I can see it. You haven't, okay. Because that's got all of the individual movements from your patterns, so you can take the time to learn your patterns while you're off. Okay, and legs apart. The other thing that works very well if you can. Oh, okay, cool, Mr. West, excellent. If you can project Zoom up onto a big TV screen, it makes this a lot easier. So I've got a setup here where I've got two laptops because I need one to record and the other one with the gallery of you individual guys that I can put up onto my TV screen so I can see you to give you feedback. Okay, so if you're able to project it up on a big TV screen, you can stand back and see what I'm doing rather than having to come close. Mariah's family's got that sorted. Okay, legs apart, nice and wide. Come back so I'm on screen. Sit up nice and tall. Reach up to the sky. Try and keep your back nice and straight. And then lie down onto your left leg. Just hold that. Breathe deeply. Make sure you've got both hands reaching over the top of your head, not just one hand like this. Reach over the top. You're going to stretch down the side of your body as well as the stretch in your leg. Even if your hands don't touch, that's fine. This position here is good. And sit up nice and tall. And the other side. I find if I close my eyes when I stretch, I can focus on the muscle that I'm stretching and breathing nice and slowly and deeply. Relaxing my body and muscles and trying to go a little bit deeper into the stretch. And sit nice and tall, open your legs a little bit wider. Maybe give them a little bit of a thump on the inside to massage them a bit. And sit up nice and tall. And then lean straight forward. Again, breathe deeply. Just reach your hands out in front of you and relax down into the stretch. And slowly up. Again, a little hammer of your legs. Lean back and drag your bum back to get your legs in. From here, hands on the floor. Stretch your leg back. One leg nice and straight. Stretch the calf muscle. Stretching the calf of one leg. And change legs. We also have on our website in our COVID-19 classes, in the adult classes, there's a series of classes for different grades. Those classes have sequences for each of your patterns up to red belt. So if you need to learn your pattern or you want to practice through your pattern, just go on and look at those COVID-19 classes by grade and scroll down to the video of your pattern. There are also videos there about your step sparring syllabus. They go through all of your fundamental movements for each grade. So if there's any fundamental movement you're not sure about, look on those, watch those videos, and you'll see me quickly demonstrate every movement in every syllabus up to red belt. And slowly standing up. Now, for those of you who have quick access to a cushion, we'll use the cushion for the next stretch. For those who don't, you're just going to do the traditional quadricep stretch. One leg behind you, knees together, push your hips forwards. If you have access to a cushion, you put your stretched leg on the cushion, step your other leg forward, and then reach back and grab your ankle. Still pushing your hips forwards. There we go. It's a really nice, comfortable way to get a very good quadricep stretch. Just relax, breathe. But it's very hard on your kneecap if you're doing it directly on the floor. Find it quite uncomfortable on the floor. And change other leg. Okay, while we're here, we're going to stretch our glute muscles. So from this, just a seated position here, I'm going to put one leg over the top of my other knee, reach through the gap, one hand on either side of my leg that's on the ground, and grab my shin. This is a stretch for your glutes, your bottom. You can do this lying down and pulling both of these legs towards you. I find that's quite uncomfortable on my back because I've got a bony back and it sticks into the ground. So, but you can do this lying down as well. Try and get that bent leg as close to your chest as you can. This is good practice for putting your legs behind your head. An important life skill. And change sides. And it's nice. So you can either do this lunging this way, or if you've got your cushion, you put your knee on your cushion, do the same stretch here. Don't put your hand on your thigh, just lunge forward as much as you can with your knee on the cushion and stretch that back hand up. And change sides. And standing up. Shot. Legs a bit of a shake. Just stretch the arms as well. Shoulders. And change. And reach over the top. Try and keep your head nice and upright. Just lower that elbow down behind your back. If you can reach all the way down to your belt, I'd be really impressed. And change arms. If you want to, you can reach your other hand up behind you and grab your fingers. and give your arms a shake. Okay, thanks everybody for coming. I hope you got something out of tonight's class. Please email through some feedback so that I can keep adapting them over the course of the time that we're stuck at home. I'll do some stuff during the class for all grades, so you'll find some stuff that you haven't done before that may be a little bit harder, so the black belts can get some good training as well. Make sure that when you're training, once you've got the hang of the technique, you should really be smashing the technique out and doing lots and lots of power. So you can train really hard and work on that power, that strength, and that balance. Okay, so make sure you're working hard on that. Get those dobot clean in time for our class on Friday. And if you've got other people that you know in the Taekwondo class that are not here tonight, get in touch with them. Let them know we're 5 o'clock on Friday. Next week, depending on, send a survey out on the weekend, and I'll ask for your feedback about the Zoom classes. We might drop down to Monday, Wednesday, because we have got those video classes on the website. If you want to do an extra class or two during the week, there's a whole lot of content there. You can just watch on the website and do it in your own lounge with the video on your TV screen. And then I can give you some feedback in class here. Do feel free also to whack some videos of yourself on Facebook or something, and then tag me or email me a link or something so that I can give you some feedback on how you're going. Video yourself doing the patterns and read the first half of that self-defense handbook. Thanks, everybody.
Excuse me.
Yes, Toby.
Do we have a class on Friday?
Yes, Toby. Friday at 5 o'clock.
And Thursday?
Thursday's the kids' class.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Just wait for me.
Thanks, guys. Come here. I'll see you on Friday. Keep safe. Look after mums and dads and children.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Mark. Very good.
Bye,
So,
sir.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
So I don't know how hard it's going to be to get